No, I put it above Death Note.
Alright, well, shall we begin?
Oh, I'm so scared. Okay. Guys, it's finally here. We've been sitting here thinking our brains off. This is something we've skirted around this topic so much.
People have asked us this question in comments on lives, and this is something that we did last year, me, Can, and Jackson McKay, because last year we really dove into like film and just good stuff, and we ranked everything we watched.
Mainly
at the end of the year.
IMDb top 100.
So, obviously it's a smaller sample size, but we decided to be fun to like rank, spoiler free of course, everything that we've watched this year, only like one or two things off camera, and yeah, just like kind of review and rank everything that we've gone over to kind of like set the bar, and then we'll do this yearly, and the list will change. And
I'm so scared I'm gonna get cooked.
But yeah, this will all be spoiler free in case you haven't seen some of these shows. I'll throw up everything on the screen that we'll go over just so that you know what's coming. And yeah, some of it will be on some people's lists and some of it won't. For example, we have not seen Naruto, so that will not be on our list, but it will be on theirs because they watched it this year off camera.
Do you have any C tiers, Carter?
Yep, just
Really?
one.
I know.
Just one.
I know exactly.
I mean, everybody knows what it is. C tier isn't bad. It's just not great.
So you
Like I would say, like B tier is like good.
I'd
you know,
say,
B tier's
I'd
good.
say B tier's like mid.
How? There's only two better
Yeah, B
tiers.
tier's
Like you
not
get a B in a grade, like in school, it's mid.
Not really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
C, but Carter,
A
C's
B
like
is
barely
literally
passing.
like average.
Yeah,
like a
C is
3.0
almost
is like
fair.
literally the definition of mid. A C is like underperforming. Like
A
you're
C's
like
barely
underperforming.
passing. Yeah, it's like almost a D.
So it's like a C would be like you barely like
I mean, technically,
made it
C's,
through the show. It was like
I think
the show was so.
See, but then if like if you
Technically
look up a
C's
movie
passing.
and it has an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes,
That's
that's not
good.
mid. That's a good movie. Like
I
a
feel like
mid
the-
movie would be like
A 50%.
like a 70.
I had Chainsaw Man at a B+.
That's your lowest show?
Is it B plus?
Yeah.
Wow. What?
That's what I said. They're like all really close, and like some of them we haven't
Wow,
finished. So
frick
like,
you.
I mean, if you think about IMDb, Chainsaw Man's like an 8.6, so it's like
I feel like
8.6.
it's not like
High.
it's not amazing. It's not
That's
like
really
way
high.
up there, but it's good, and I enjoyed it. B+.
I have Demon Slayer in C tier, but it's like a high C. It's like a 78, 79. But yeah, it's my lowest rated show we've watched this year.
I
For sure.
also have it the exact same place, like C+, like a higher C. Like it's a quality show. It's a good quality show. It's just I think it lacks a lot of the things that the other shows do really well. Like the animation is phenomenal, and the score is occasionally phenomenal as well. And it has like the peak of peaks, but like its slower moments are like really drag it down for me. If I was doing scenes, there would be an S tier scene in there.
Oh,
Like one of my top 5 scenes ever, probably.
I have two in C tier, but one of them's one you guys have never seen, which is Tokyo Ghoul, which I watched on my
that's
own
right.
this
You
year.
watched the
You watched the whole thing?
I watched the first season, and it was super. Like the ending of the first season was good, but like, it's just not. They got to redo it, and it'd be really sick. And I have Death Note in C tier as well, but it's like high C.
Yeah.
So
that's
we're naming
alright.
everything in our C tier.
No, I was just doing bottom.
That was
Like
my,
your
those were
number
my
12.
bottom. Those
Like
were
your
my
number
He
Yeah.
has more shows.
Yeah,
Those
so
were my
that's
bottom
fine.
two, so I just did them at the same
That's
time.
fine. 'Cause
Alright, I got 12. So my number 12 is The Last of Us. But I have it in like I guess I redid all my tiers. So this is like C plus B minus tier. But The Last of Us is at the very bottom. It's a good show, but like I don't know. I never found myself getting like super hyped to watch it. I'm glad I watched it, but I
Wouldn't
wasn't just
rewatch
like this is just piquing my interest so much, and I'm like dying to watch it. But like I'm glad I
Interesting.
watched. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
one of those
I-
shows where I'm glad it happened, but like I don't ever think about it,
Yeah.
reminisce about it or anything. It's
I
just
thought
like,
The Last of Us, dude, I thought it was just quality. Like, pretty much everywhere you look. It had great score, great characters,
Yeah.
great
It's
writing.
great.
But I can see why you thought that.
like,
Like,
I can agree with that totally, but just the way I feel about it after, during, like it's just like
You know.
it was good. Like it was
wow,
just
it's like different things speak differently to different people.
Yeah,
you know?
so-
Gotta change that
a
around.
good show.
I got Last of Us somewhere.
Alright,
Higher
so
up.
Jack, you're second.
my next one's Demon Slayer with a B+.
Alright.
I feel like I liked the whole show, Even though it doesn't have the best writing and all that, the visuals obviously are great. The only thing that bugs me is some of the trope stuff. That's it. Other than that, I like the show. Good show. B+.
So yeah, I'm down at B- now, or not even B-. I would say that this one's straight B. So that's why there's like a gap, but it's Chainsaw Man. Like Chainsaw Man's a very enjoyable, like vibey show, and I really feel like it'll pick up like in the coming seasons from what I've heard.
Sure.
Like I heard that this introductory season is really like just kind of world building.
Yeah.
So I really think it'll pick up. But for right now, it was just an enjoyable watch.
Yeah, I also have Chainsaw Man at B, and I think Chainsaw Man is one of those like perfect, like not quite turn your brain off, but like you don't have to be dialed really to watch it. And while it is enjoyable in that way, and it was such a vibe. It was like one of the funnest shows to watch. But in like terms when I think about it, it's not what makes me love a show. You know, like I like a show where I have to have my brain on. You know, and so that's why it's
probably the most forgettable show of the year for me. Like in terms of I've thought about it the least. I've even thought about Demon Slayer more because I listen to the music more. So like Chainsaw Man is probably the most forgettable show.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it though.
The Last of Us. B. Low B. It was good. That's all I have to say.
It was good.
Well, we have 3 of the 5. Our number 11 is Chainsaw Man. Mine's Chainsaw Man as well. I enjoyed the show, but like it's been months now, and like I don't ever think about it. But like if someone wanted to rewatch it, I'd be super hyped to rewatch it with them. But it's just like it hopefully it cooks in the next seasons, like with the story, like things kind of like really picking up. So I think it has a lot of potential, but like I think of like the best scenes of anime I've seen this year, and like there's not one Chainsaw Man scene that like really even competes with like a top, I don't even know, like 10 or 15.
No, yeah.
So for that reason, I feel like it's like a solid B. You know, like the show overall is like super enjoyable, but there's nothing just like peak. There's just like screams peak about it. So that's why I have it.
That makes sense.
At 11. You guys want to do a serpentine? So we go here, and then here.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Sure.
Okay, so number 10, I have Death Note in the B- B tier. I've made a lot of jokes about how I hate Death Note. I actually don't hate it, so sorry to piss off a bunch of people, but
Well, you have it higher than McKay.
yeah. No, I mean I watched the show forever ago. I liked it. I already told you guys I stopped watching it at a certain part. Overall, the show's great. It has some peak moments that like were super exciting. Like I like the rewatch with you guys. It was fun, and yeah, I feel like I just have a little bit of beef with some of the writing and certain moments that like doesn't that makes it not as high up as certain shows that I have up here. But overall, it's a good show, and I can see why a lot of people love it. Like when people say they like love it, like that's great. Like I totally understand why, and that's great. But like I feel like there's a group of people that also feel the same way as me and I guess McKay. It's just like it's a good show, but it has some stuff that just
I think it's important to note that like all of these shows are gonna have the stands where it's their favorite show.
Yeah.
You know, like all of them.
There's a certain group of people that like this certain show is a goat for them.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
But like I mean, this is why it's our personal tier list. So
11 Chainsaw Man. And like it could be higher, but the amount of shows we've watched this year pushes it down. Not because of like anything about it. It doesn't lack anything. It's a good
doesn't
show.
live
it's
up
just
to the
like
other
it doesn't
ones.
stand with,
same thing happened to me. It was like here, and then just the more shows we watched.
Because when I watched it, it was
went
sick.
down.
But
Like it has nothing really.
I think I used
do
to have it at like 5, but then just more shows, and it could go up or it could go down.
Yeah. All right, my next one. Okay.
Jeez.
This is in the high B tier. This is where like so for me this is low in the list.
So B+.
Yeah, B+ tier. This is like almost cracking A tier. Okay. Is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood?
Holy shit!
I really like the show. I really do. I really like the show. It's so good, and it has all the makings to be like that goat that goat status it has. Right, we're on episode 27 or 28 over there, so we still got more than half the show left.
And so I just like in that 28 episodes compared to everything else, which has had more time mostly for the most part, I'm just waiting for that second half, and in that first 26 I just couldn't like really justify it at this point. So but I feel like I can tell that it's going to get higher by the end.
Yeah, I don't think McKay's worried about you putting it there for right now.
Yeah, no, because everybody knows I really like the show.
It'll go up to like top.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm so confident in it. But yeah, it's just a little. It's a little half baked right now. So I agree.
Yeah, all the ongoing shows for me could just like.
Yeah,
just
and that's
go
the
out
thing.
And go anywhere.
It's all up to how it ends.
Well, and
stuff.
Fullmetal for me has just been going like this. It's
Well,
just up and up and up and up.
So here's the thing. This might be a little surprising because once again, this is high B tier. Okay, this is probably at 87. Is Death Note for me. So it's the
I'm
one,
surprised
two, it's
actually.
the
What the heck?
third lowest for me. I still love it.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I
actually
still
very
love it.
I'm so
surprised.
shocked with these B tier Death Note ratings.
Yeah, Death
me
Note.
too,
Even
actually.
for me who
B
complained about
plus.
the ending, like I haven't.
No, yeah.
Hey man, 1 through 25 is A.
No, I'm not.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
I'm not
for the
like
second
I'm
team.
not. All I have to say about Death Note is like I see where Brig and Mckay are coming from. Like the first 26 episodes is literally like
So good.
borderline S to me. It's high A,
Oh, man.
and then like the last part's like a C, so it brings it to that B plus for
Yeah,
me.
me and Jack will
You know?
share our opinions when we get there.
Yeah, that's just my take.
W.
That's totally fair.
W.
But I don't like you the slander because I do
Base
love it.
Base
I love
camp.
it.
Right?
Just when I looked at my list, I was like, dang man,
All
as
these
much as I
shows
love
are
it,
so good. All these shows
Making
are so
lists
good.
is so hard.
it is. It's hard.
And I want to see where this show goes. Though I had The Last of Us at an A minus. Good show.
That's next up.
Yeah,
already
that's next
A
up.
minus.
I mean, Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man. I feel
I
like
think I'm A minus too.
I'm
Jack has a lot of S.
I'm at B.
I got a
plus.
sneak peek.
I do.
There's a lot of S tiers?
Which I think is a good thing. We've watched a lot of good shows.
Hey,
Yeah.
to
I love it. Yeah,
to love stuff like that is
Yeah,
good.
so The Last of Us is an A
True,
minus. Not scraping like bottom of A minus, like borderline.
The
B.
Last
It's
of
like
Us?
it's just an A minus. Invincible's an A.
Okay, so
That's
The Last
solid.
of Us and then Invincible.
That's nice. That's nice.
should just do this.
So
I don't feel like I have any hot takes.
I'm just entering the B plus realm.
So kind of funny because, yeah, The Last of Us for me. I love The Last of Us. You guys know that.
Wow.
I'm so happy that
This is shocking. I have The Last of Us highest on the couch.
That's
This is
crazy. 'Cause
shocking.
Here's the thing. I love The Last of Us. Like you guys know that. It holds a tender place in my heart. It's a very good show. I'd recommend The Last of Us to anybody, especially people that may not watch anime. Like The Last of Us is a very good live action show.
All right. My next up is gonna get some reactions, but at 9th is Hunter x Hunter for me. Oh, and by the way, it's
he
a
hasn't.
It's
I thought
9 out of 12.
it's a
They're
B
even
plus.
tier
two.
It's a
He
B
hasn't
plus
seen
tier. It's a B plus tier. Let me explain because we are 95 episodes in now, and everybody else has loved it. They've seen it to completion,
Can we
and us
just-
three are 95 episodes
I
in.
haven't seen it to completion.
I feel like you're.
Okay, yeah.
This might
true.
be Skip Bayless on the couch.
No, let me explain. I
It's
just
like Colin Cowherd.
let me
You
explain.
better explain.
What it excels at is its world, its power system, and like its design. Those three things top like you will find it will be a hard thing to find something that does that better. It does it so well. Now and then the characters like are all very unique. My problem is the story is not that deep and the characters are not that deep. That's my issue. I am having problems emotionally getting invested because I feel like the ideas are so creative, but I don't really get very deep looks right now into the characters or the story. So far the story has been, just pretty basic. It hasn't been really anything crazy. Like, in fact, in 90 episodes, I would have expected a little more. But I know that like we're in the Chimera Ant arc, and I know that this is the arc that some people say completely does it for them. So I would completely expect by the end of it for it to leapfrog pretty high. But right now, that's where I'm at.
Fair enough.
And once again, this is like I would put Hunter x Hunter like 88, 89%.
Okay.
So
I'm wondering if Carter's like depressed in life. He has Fullmetal and Hunter x Hunter, the shows we're currently watching.
No, and I love them. I love
in
the
the glory
shows.
days.
You just can't get over AOT.
I'm in the exact listen.
This is like going to a movie with Carter.
You're not gonna
bro.
put
You just
anything in
can't love
OT.
a movie anymore.
I'm in the exact
so
same
sad.
place with both of our shows. I really, really like them, and I know that the second part of it is what does it for I think a person like me. So like I'm in the exact same position.
Yeah,
so next year
I
I
could
fully
guess
expect
your
both
top
of
two.
those to be
Carter
up there.
for sure.
My 9 and 8 are kind of like flip
Maybe not
floppy,
that, actually.
but I'll just say Demon Slayer at 9. And I had it super high. What was that last year? on
Last
the movie
year, yeah.
rankings. And I still think there's like moments that are super peak, but this new season kind of disappointed me with. Like I already knew it was gonna happen, but because I read the manga, but it was like I don't know. It was just like there was too much like borderline to not make up for the peak.
Well, last year, yeah, you were coming off Entertainment District, and then
And
this year
Entertainment
is coming
District
off of,
and Mugen Train, ending of Mugen Train was so good.
yeah, and then you're coming off season 3, and it's like okay,
And it's still it's still like an A
yeah.
for sure, but it, for me, but yeah, it's 9.
All right.
Ready to go?
Thank you for that, McKay. My number 9 is Invincible, and yeah, I really like this. This is my B plus tier, so it's like a high 80. Great show, crazy ending. Season 2 needs to cook, so
And it started.
And it's
yeah, like at the
it's
end
gonna-
started. So I mean,
That's coming back in like a week.
it's
Yeah.
really good,
Yeah.
but like we're entering the domain where it's just like, dude, it's not as good as the options we have left.
Even in
So,
domain.
number 9, Invincible. Number 8, the end of the B plus tier, I have Demon Slayer. It's my first anime ever. Loved it. I feel like those that know when AOT season 4 was coming out weekly with the entertainment arc, it was like the sickest time ever. Like every Monday,
That's pretty sick.
I forgot what day it was, but
It
it
was
was
Sunday
like
and Monday.
yeah, Sunday. Every Sunday
I
was.
saw a TikTok about it recently.
Was every Sunday Demon Slayer? Every Monday.
I don't remember. It just said every Sunday, Monday, and 20.
Dude, every Sunday, Monday, it was literally like Christmas, dude. So, and obviously AOT season 4 is like next level peak. So maybe that like my mood and just everything was like, but I really liked like the end of the Entertainment District like fight I think is so good. The beginning sucks when they're like trying to like figure out Daki and stuff, but once they start fighting, dude, like some of my
Yeah.
favorite scenes are in that season. So Demon Slayer, I am a huge fan of, but I do understand the flaws that it has and why
Yeah.
people dislike it. So I have it at a high B plus.
That's my problem. Is that I do agree. Like that fight, Entertainment District fight, is so sick, but it just like half of it doesn't make any sense. Like half of it feels like it's not earned. Like those moments that bothered me so bad, like just kind of ruined it for me. But like I get it, you know, like it's actually
fight.
that is like peak animation. It really is. So it makes sense.
Back to Mate.
Oh, I think I messed up because I think I did 9 before my 10 because I have an extra show. Because you guys were at 9 and I was like,
Oh, okay. So has this one
I
higher
have-
than your
this
last
one's-
one?
Well, I actually have 13, so that's actually my number 9.
And I have 13 too.
That's actually my number 9. You guys can't read.
Because I had.
We'll put up a little list.
This
It's
is why we're
okay.
doing tier.
Yeah, because I had.
So this one is lower than your last
This is
one.
10. This is 10.
Okay.
It's kind of a weird
As long as we're
take,
doing tier lists,
but
that's
it's
fine.
Invincible.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like this season, this new season,
Invincible's
the
a-
way it goes could totally change that. But yeah, it's just like I love it, but there's been peaks in Demon Slayer that were higher than peaks in
Okay,
Invincible.
no, that's fair.
But like Invincible is probably a better overall show.
Invincible,
but
like,
there's
ramped
less
up.
of
It didn't
Invincible
have,
out
like,
there. And
crazy
I just,
Yeah.
I
once
probably had
the-
Invincible highest on the couch.
Yeah, but I still love Invincible.
I really like.
Well,
Invincible.
after this season though, it
Didn't
could be
last.
it could very much be. There's just too many shows.
Like,
Well-
I felt really weird putting it that low, but like,
Because I
just
watched
felt
it.
right.
I watched it like a year and
See,
a half or 2 years ago.
I
so
don't
it's
feel like
kind of
any way about you having it low. I just think that I'll go into it because my next is Invincible as well. This is in the A tier, by the way. At number 8, I just like, and I totally see what you're saying, but I am so much more of like an overall guy than a peaks guy. You know, like the peaks can't carry me that long. Like I like it to be more general,
Consistent.
you know, like more consistent. Even
I'm
if
all about
like
the
Demon
peaks.
Slayer has better peaks than Invincible, that's a fact for me. But I would take Invincible any day of the week just because for me it's just like the premise is really interesting, the story is great, characters are great, and it does have some genuinely great episodes, and I just think overall it just does it from start to finish. It's just good, you know.
Yeah,
So.
I have Invincible as well. I love superheroes. I think it's a very interesting take on superhero, like the superhero genre. It's super cool, like seeing that displayed on the screen, like a more realistic view of what it would be like. As well as it's super fun. Like I like a lot of the music choices in Invincible. There's plot twists that are really good. So I have Invincible. This is, by the way, like 89. I've had
Number 8 for you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth from the bottom.
My next one is Cyberpunk with an A.
All right.
That's not
Wait,
bad.
and what?
Like Cyberpunk.
What's your number?
It's an A.
No, what number?
Is that like
is it?
eighth or seventh?
Is number 7 for you?
You might be a rat.
9.
Holy
Then again,
shit!
Wait,
Not
how
as
many
bad.
numbers do you have?
I only have One Piece in here as an extra.
Where you start?
So you have 13 then.
Dang, at 9, Jack. That's.
Well,
I
yeah,
think that's the
but-
hottest take so
Okay,
far,
okay,
in my
but that's-
opinion.
But it's an A. It's like
Jack, like
I'm
I
not saying
know,
it's
I
bad.
know.
respectfully.
I know.
All right,
I'm not
explain.
saying it's
Explain.
bad.
I just want to hear. Explain.
Hey, Jack.
you ever played the video game?
Jack, I got you, man. Just wait.
I mean, it's not like it's a bad show. I have a lot of S tiers,
He does have a lot of S tiers. to be fair.
and like compared to some of the other shows, I just don't think it's as good.
I mean, it's
It-
fair because
oh,
it's only 10 episodes.
Do you not think
so-
it's as good, or do you not like it as much?
I think it's very good for what it is.
Like, do you genuinely think it is worse than the other ones, or do you not like it as much as the other ones?
Or is there just not enough?
I mean,
in
yeah,
that
the shows that I like better.
My
for
only problem
sure.
is there's not
It's
enough.
short.
Well, the shows above this I like better for sure, but it's definitely a solid A. I could say it's an A plus.
All right.
You don't
But-
have to, Jack.
but-
When Jack
No,
goes,
a
I
lot-
can't do
A
it.
lot of these that aren't the S tiers could like move
Gosh.
down a tier and they'd still be the same. I don't know. Cyberpunk's an A. It's a very good show. I would recommend it. But it's not like my favorite show ever. But for just what it was very good.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
Mr.
think I'm as
Frick
obsessed
you,
with
Jack.
it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you haven't beat Phantom Liberty, so
Oh.
yeah, frick off.
That makes sense.
makes sense for this guy.
Okay, rounding
Oh
off.
no, he's a serpentine.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Oh, and then I have
I got proud.
and this one. I have Fullmetal as an A as well
Mm.
because I feel like it's really gonna start to cook and it
Good
has
boy.
been, so it could move up. But yeah, it's an A right now. It's very good.
Good job.
I like it a lot.
Rounding off my B tier, so this is like 8, 9.5. This is like edging A tier, okay?
Okay.
I was gonna say
Is,
that.
Fullmetal. I really like Fullmetal. I think it has honestly like a lot of potential, especially for my like favorite characters like in that show, like Roy. I think Roy is so sick. I don't know if like I know the dub's growing on me. I don't know if I had started in sub if I'd like it more than I do right now. But at the same time, yeah, I just think that I love mystery. Like I love the mystery in Fullmetal, and the
That's true.
unraveling of the mystery
The
is
mystery
really
is very
satisfying. Like, and that's something that I love about Death Note too. So
That's so true.
mystery is really just like it really gets your attention and it keeps
Yeah.
it. You know,
Having things
so
that you can't
when it's
expect
so-
or don't expect is
yeah.
Well,
Like,
the
there's a
unraveling
lot
of the mystery is a different kind of like peak moment. You
Yeah.
know, it's not like a peak moment of fight. It's like a peak moment of narrative, and I love.
I
that.
would say outside of a show that's S tier in this list, it's the funnest show to try to predict with all of us. Like we're all like,
Yeah,
we're like trying to make sense of it, and that
You
makes it
guys
so
really get
good.
into it.
It's
Yeah.
like the AOT that you guys had, but for all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So
okay.
that rounds off
Great-
my
it's a
B,
great point.
very close to A.
All right. Well, my next one, number 7, is The Last of Us. This is like an A tier. I think The Last of Us to me is just like the definition of just an A show. Like every part of it to me, the premise, like the spin take on zombies. Obviously, it's not a zombie show. Characters, music, story, everything. Like the grittiness, the realness. It's just like every part of it. I think is like up to par with just being a high standard show. And
Love that.
like there's nothing in the
Love
show.
A high
There's
standard adaptation.
yes, there's nothing in the show. Like in fact, I think every show before this, other than maybe like my bottom two, even Demon Slayer. So just only a few shows. Like this show doesn't have a scene that like I would pick over any of them. In fact, its peak scene is probably the lowest on the list. But like just overall,
It's a very consistent show.
it's just quality. Like I love it.
love that for you and me.
This is A tier, number 8. Is Avatar. Almost A plus, but it's A. Because it kind of has like the same things. I feel like
I bet it
in a
changed
weird
after
way
this
that Demon
rewatch.
Slayer has. I wouldn't say on that level, but like it. There's just episodes that feel like filler, and they're not.
Avatar
And
is
there's
just
episode,
funny.
and it's it's not like a very. I feel like it doesn't get that serious until the end, and I love the serious shows where like people die and stuff, and like there's like a lot of plot armor. I feel like, but it's still like the end. I know because I've already seen it, so like I know the ending cooks.
Except
But
for the Airbenders.
there's just not enough like.
Nice one, Jack.
That's true.
Nice one, Jack.
Off
It's
screen.
like, I want death. Here
I
you
like
go.
like
The
the
whole
off
nation
screen.
wiped out.
Everyone dies off screen. On screen,
Oh,
like
that's so funny,
Yeah.
Jack.
Characters-
The whole
characters that
nation
you know.
dead. There you go. There's your death.
no, like people that you know.
They didn't have
Characters
fun.
you
No,
know.
I know.
It's a terrible tip. But yeah, it's a. It might be 9 after that comment. Jack.
Wow.
It has to be.
My number 7 is
I will
Cyberpunk.
legit tear up in this.
Oh.
I have Cyberpunk.
And you just recently rewatched it.
I finished it last week. I rewatched the whole thing in 2 days.
All right.
I have it in my A
That's
tier. It's the beginning of my A tier. Good show. Wish it had more. Story's not that deep. Moving on.
Wow.
Some like his
The
curse
story isn't
technique.
that
His
deep,
curse
per
technique
se.
is just absorbing people's dreams for no reason.
I'm gonna have to cut.
so-
I'm gonna have to cut that,
makes
out.
sense.
It's supposed to be
So-
spoiler free.
Oh, sorry.
But no, that's a
Dude,
good take
I didn't
though.
know
That
how-
makes
So
sense.
I love the show. I think it's super cool. I think it makes it cooler
Super
because when you
cool.
play the game.
That's like.
But, like,
I don't know.
I
don't
personally
wanna
feel
get
like the
into it.
story
We all do
isn't
that.
like-
kind of lost.
Like the story is really not that deep,
That we don't go through that.
and there's not like it's super quick, and I wish there was more. So I like the characters and I like the world, but
For sure.
like the
There's
story
more
itself is
good.
really not. Like there's so much world, and like the story is just like it almost feels like a trailer for like.
All right.
So-
I feel like well.
I would argue with you there, but I'll wait for my turn.
thing
That's
is
what
they
I'm
didn't have a
saying.
manga.
I'll give my
They
take.
they just were trying to bring a fan base in, so they didn't like have something to base it off of except a game. No, you get what I'm saying? Like they didn't have a manga to base
I
it
can
off
see
of.
what you're saying.
They
I
didn't
just
have a
I
whole
just
long
disagree.
story.
They're still a writer. Like at the end of the day, it's still a story that's being told.
Oh, yeah,
It just
no, but
wasn't
I'm just saying,
I
adapted.
mean, and like
they
I
didn't
said,
know
like,
if it was gonna do well or not. So they did like no. What I'm saying is, since it didn't have a manga, they didn't know if it was gonna do well. It was just based off the game.
But what's the point? I'm confused.
The point is they didn't do more because they didn't know if it would do well. They only did 5 episodes because they didn't know it was
it's
gonna
10.
take
It's 10 episodes.
or 10. They didn't know it was gonna be like incredible.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen it twice. I played the game.
'Cause they
I
could've
like. I know you
definitely
guys are obsessed
That'd
with
be
it,
sick.
so I feel like it's pretty valid why I have it there. But obviously,
Hey,
if you like it more, that's
to
fine.
each their own.
yeah.
Wait, do you have another one? Right.
And then the next up on my A tier is Avatar. Great show. I feel like the older I get, the more the like child tropes are like just kind of annoying. So, like in our watch on YouTube, like there's episodes I love and there's episodes I'm like, dude, I can't wait for this to be over. So, I think overall like the show has some peak moments. I love the characters. Like, it's like a better version of Demon Slayer in my opinion. So,
That's what I was thinking.
better story, but it still has like the weird filler kid tropes. But like, at least they're kind of funny sometimes. So.
This is where my list gets weird, but I used to have Fullmetal. I have Fullmetal at 7.
Oh wow.
And like it used to be up there.
What tier
Because
It
is
used
it's
to be like 3.
What tier is
yeah,
it?
it used to be 3, but that's because it was probably like my third. It's A plus. Yeah, I moved into A plus. But like it was like my third anime, so like it was definitely at 3. I had AOT, Dragon Ball, and Fullmetal, and so like it made sense. But like it's kind of like in sub especially, it's way better than dub in my opinion, and I'm the only one that's seen it in sub, sadly. But yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to put over
next
these.
one?
It's just hard to put over these other shows. So
My next one is JJK at number 6, and it's also an A tier show. I don't really have much bad to say about it. I'd say once again, like the only thing in it that is missing for me is it doesn't help that the show so far has been like season 1, the movie, season 2, you know, like it's been kind of all over the place, and the show's been more so kind of about arcs than like a overall
complete
story.
story,
But
yeah.
yeah, I just feel like the story so far just for me, and that's what I tend to gravitate towards the most. It's just like not really. It's not anything like special. Now, what's special is like the conflicts. That's like what's good. Like it does very well with like its power system, even though it's confusing as frick, and its characters. Like it's a super vibey show. It has some genuine like unbelievable episodes. And I just think that there's a clear difference between like JJK and like something that is like an A+ or an S tier show, but it's still an A. Like I'd give it like a solid 92, 93. You know, so
Yeah, moving into my A tier, I just whispered to Jack I was scared for my take, and it was JJK. So I'm glad you kind of took the heat off me a little bit.
well, you like JJK more than me, I think. So
Yeah, I love JJK. Like to me, JJK is the most hype show we watch, and specifically because the fights are unbelievable, as well as like the animation. The character designs are so cool. My main problem with it, and I talked to Carter about this a little bit, was like I think I like overall Hidden Inventory more than Shibuya because like Hidden Inventory actually has a narrative that you're following, like this story, whereas Shibuya is just there. It is, but it's so far like below just the fights that are going on that you don't even really think about the story as you're like watching it. You're just like thinking, oh, is this guy gonna live or die? You know, and it's like at the end of the day, I love JJK. The characters aren't that deep. In my opinion, there's not a lot of depth with anybody. Gojo is like literally one of my favorite characters. He's so hype, but like overall, I just think the story needs to be fleshed out a little bit more. Like, and then the pacing is a little bit all over the place. But
yeah,
JJK is 6. Yeah, like 92, 93.
I just flipped that around because of what you guys are talking about. not that I didn't need to. So I have JJK next with an A+. I think the same things. I think the story does have... It is different arcs, like Carter said, but I would disagree in the fact that like there's not like a overall arc or story because we know who the villains are and they're all like presented in different ways and you gives their backstory with like the movie with Ghetto, and then Ghetto's in season 1 and he's a villain, even though we don't know who he is. And then in Inventory, like, tells more about their story, like Ghetto and Gojo. And then the whole, like, conflict between them happens during Shibuya.
Yeah, I would
because of
say
that.
you
I mean,
know...
Like, we know who the enemies
Yeah.
are. They're Sukuna, the Cursed Spirits, and Ghetto.
I guess I just want to clarify, I don't feel like the story is that fluid. It's kind of all over the place.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
like
jumped
the
all over the
pacing,
place.
yeah, and
But
like
I think
it's
somewhat
hard
for
for me
good
to latch
reason.
onto it if it's all over the place. You know what I mean?
Like, somewhat for good reason, because, like, Hidden Inventory did explain, like, Ghetto, and maybe Hidden Inventory would have been better before, like, the
I
movie.
feel like the
but
correct
then again,
order to
the
watch
movie-
the show is like Hidden Inventory movie season 1.
Yeah.
That'd be
They
kinda
would make the
fun.
story
And that- yeah,
so
that's what I'm
much
saying.
more
fun.
You
That's what I was
get, you
just
get to
saying.
know Gojo's class. Then the movie is like
That's true.
you
Yeah.
see Gojo and them, and you kind of see like the year ones like pan on them. You meet Yuta, Ghetto, and then it's like season 1 you meet the new guys, and
Yeah.
then season 2 it's everyone.
Like it just adds to how confusing the
Yeah,
show is
definitely
when the
the
story
pacing
is
and,
just
like-
everywhere.
like yeah, if they
I mean, it's
released
not that
it,
hard
if
to
they released
understand.
it in that order, I feel like it'd be way.
I think for us, like, it's not that hard to understand it, even though it is kind of weird out of order. But it would be better.
the
if
power is
it was-
confusing, but
It would be
the
better if it
story,
was
yeah.
that way. Yeah, the power system can be confusing, and then the pacing, I think, in the second season has brought it down for me. But
Good
still very good.
explanation, Jack.
And then, this next one, I don't want to say it's on the same level of JJK because it's not. Because I had it at an A+, but I just was switching around the two. I have Death Note. I think I'll change it because it wasn't an A+ to like an S-, like S. The only thing that gets me is the part of the ending where it brings in Nier and Mellow and all that, because I didn't like that, and it was so like random, and they could have done the pacing better there, or just include more. But it did wrap itself up pretty well.
Nice. So
yeah.
Okay, so rounding off my A tier, next will be A plus, is Hunter x Hunter. I think it's no surprise to anybody that like I love Hunter x Hunter, and like I'm like so excited to like finish this arc that we're in, because like the entire show has just been like a linear like graph for me. Like I know everybody like has problems with one of the arcs, like Green Island or whatever, but for me it just keeps building on itself, and I really just enjoy it more every time we watch it. So I have it 5th. I love the design. I love Gon. So
nice. All right. Well, at number 5, I have Death Note. At an A tier. It obviously, I think, would be higher. And I don't disagree that the last fourth of the show is not as good, but I don't think it's terrible by any means. I actually think it's like really enjoyable. It does kind of like, it is like a pretty like abrupt change, I would say. Like it kind of feels different, but it was enjoyable. I thought it did a lot of things, and that first like the first 3/4 of the show, I would say, is an S tier show, and then the pinnacle of the end of the arc, one of like you can't like, it is hard to write like a better moment than that moment.
yeah.
And I also just think like Light is one of my favorite characters of any show that we've watched, like so high up there. And I love like the characters and the story and everything. It's just like, it's just so different from the other shows we've watched, you know, like so different. Some of the other shows like are pretty similar in like how they're structured, but Death Note's just like different. And I feel like it's like one of those, like one of the only shows we've watched where I can like tell why it's like as iconic as it is. Like I knew about Death Note since I was like a kid. Like you've seen the black book with Death Note on it. I've seen it my whole life. Like I've known what it is.
I think maybe I'd seen it on Netflix, but I didn't know what that.
And like I've heard the music. Like I just think it's a very good show. So yeah, 5th A tier, high A tier.
Carter was meant to watch it.
6, I have Vinland Saga.
Right, 6. It's higher than I was expecting, to be honest.
No, yeah, I think the openings that we did helped a lot too, because like season 2 isn't my. I like season 1 more than season 2, but like they're both just so good. Like it's just hard to put that below a lot of shows. Like because the parallels are super cool. The character development is, I can't say everything because we can't spoil. Yeah, the openings are so sick. The music is unreal in season 2. So it's a pretty easy 6. So.
My number 6 is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Yeah, I think Fullmetal is a great show, and it just keeps getting better every time we watch. So I can already tell where it's going. I can tell why it's like a goated show. So like the writing and the build up and everything, just I don't know. Overall, I have it above everything else thus far. So, and then number 5, I have Vinland Saga, and that is the end of my A tier. So Cyberpunk, Avatar, Fullmetal, Vinland. It's my A tier.
Nice.
Vinland, season 1 was like so awesome. I remember being so hyped to watch that show. Like bought the horns and stuff. Like the vibes in Vinland were like,
dude,
I wanted to move to Norway. Like Vinland was so awesome. Season 2 was really good. So I mean it's top 5, but it's 5.
That's fine. That's a good list. My 5 is Cyberpunk. It's got a special place in my heart. I mean, because we played the game. Did we play the game first or
No, I think it was after.
We played it after.
Carter
right?
randomly
Played the game before. And
I played the game before as well.
And then he
'cause Carter
was
was
like,
the
"You guys
first
gotta
one
watch
watching,
this
that's why he
anime."
played
And we
it.
watched it, or he watched it in sub first. And then did you watch it in dub with us? The first
Yeah.
time? Yeah.
Dub way better than
Dude,
sub. by
the
the
dub
way.
just hits so.
The dub is unreal.
Like I
on
haven't.
that show.
It's like one of the easiest rewatches of my life. That show.
Oh yeah.
And that like makes it better. That puts it top 5.
Yeah.
10.
Well,
Who's bad?
I'm at number 4, and my number 4 is Avatar.
Wow. Holy
This is A plus.
I am in
A plus.
I am shook right
And
now.
I would say it's pretty much.
I am shook.
I would say it's tied. It's tied
Hard
with
to
my
be
next
objective.
one. It's tied with my next one.
That's
And the reason
crazy.
why it's A
Objective.
plus and not S is because I'll explain later. But I think Avatar, like the reason, like I completely understand your guys' like issues with it, and I agree. But the thing with Avatar is, it makes up like so hard in so many ways that other shows don't. So like for example, I just think that it is hard to find any other story or characters or just like show or movie that like has me more emotionally invested. And it also has one of like the greatest character arcs ever. Top 3. Literally top 3. Maybe top 2. I don't know. Like, and it also has like, yeah, like a top 3 character for me probably. Like,
That's true.
so it's like one of those things where it's like I understand, like yes, there's those like weird, like they're still important, but like not real, like way less important, like the filler, childish episodes. But it swings so heavily far the other way that like that's why it is so like iconic and goated to me, is because like some shows like yeah, like The Last of Us, Invincible, they don't have like those like childish things that would normally bother me, but like they also don't have like one of the greatest character arcs ever, one of the like the greatest characters, like the soundtrack, the emotion, like they don't, it's missing that. And Avatar, it literally is the pinnacle of those things to me personally.
Yeah.
So
Well, entering my A plus tier, there's 2 in here, is Cyberpunk, Edgerunners.
What number is this?
Yeah.
5?
4.
4?
Number 4. So Cyberpunk is, and it wrestled with my next one, but Cyberpunk is number 4. It's just, the world is so cool, and like, it sucks because I do kind of connect it to the game a little bit. Like just the world of Cyberpunk is so awesome, but like overall, I would argue with Brig about how it's not that deep because he just chases other people's dreams. I think we all do that a lot. Like I think especially me as a kid, like I was fulfilling my parents' dreams for a while, and like David is like, you know, he can't ever seek his own independence or his own like who he is as a person. He is kind of always falling into that, but I can relate, and so it's deeper for me than that. And then like I don't know, I just think like he's just a tragic character, and I love tragic characters. I think that they are relatable.
It's very tragic.
So,
I'll give you that.
yeah, it's very tragic.
Right there.
It's
a
very
tough watch.
It's a tough pill.
It's a tough watch, but it's a fun watch. Like the world is just so cool. Like I don't know, I could go off on Edgerunners, but it's my number 4, A plus.
Okay, Bill.
Okay. Start cooking.
Both of these
Bill.
shows we haven't finished.
5 and
So,
4.
yeah,
Top
5
5s
and
are fun, dude.
4. 5 Hunter x Hunter.
At 5?
S tier. And then I have One Piece right after that.
Wow.
I'm like
And-
Wow.
pieces.
Holy shiz.
And I want to explain One
Bro,
Piece because
what?
like none of you guys have seen it.
I swear I saw One Piece at the top earlier.
Well,
I swear.
you probably did when I first started making this because I just typed them all out and then I sorted them.
Oh, I was excited.
I feel like I know why you.
So
put
I love Hunter x Hunter. It's been entertaining the entire time. It's got good characters. It's got good power system. It's got
But
good
Jackal
fights.
knows the truth.
got
That's
the
what it's telling
visuals.
him.
I don't know the truth.
That's
Yeah,
why Jackal.
Jackal has
No,
seen.
no.
He's
I
seen
don't know the
truth.
truth.
You've
I don't-
seen truth.
I think I like
Jackal
somewhat kind
entered
of
the
understand it, but I don't know.
portal, but he doesn't have like a full recollection.
Yeah.
But he still can do
Yeah, I
the
guess.
transmutation circle without his.
But at the same time, I don't know. I'm letting it cook, but it's been dang good the whole time. One Piece, I feel like the only issue I have with it is the pacing. And other than that, it's so good. Like the world, it's similar to Hunter x Hunter. Like the world is just so expansive, and there's so much world building and so much stuff going on besides the main characters around like the whole entire universe of it. The characters are good. They have like really good backstories. There's so many different like issues brought up in the show that are like real, like just awful things that happen to people that are true, and good things that happen to people and all that. Like the One Piece universe is just really really cool.
Yeah, I've realized the pacing is
Besides the
definitely
clown
like a
that's
big
an
issue,
emperor.
but it's still very, very good.
All right, entering my top 3, Vinland Saga at number 3. I gotta clarify it. There's something similar between my top 4, and it's that they can actually make me emotional. Anything that can make me emotional, like, has to be like good, because like, I don't know, it's really hard for media to like, especially in a completely fictional world, to like touch me like that. So like Vinland is one of those ones where
It's more
like
real.
the score, oh my gosh, like the score is so good. Like one of the character arcs is just incredible. Like there's moments that literally had me like choked up, and like it's just it actually really inspires me like as a person. So number 3.
Nice. My number 3 is Cyberpunk, Edgerunners, and I like I said, like I can see where Brig is coming from, but like Cannon said with Cyberpunk, I just think that it is like near impossible to like find a show in 10 episodes that does what Cyberpunk does. Like it is like almost impossible. And like I think that it's one of those shows where like it's definitely like in the overall big picture, the story can seem a little less, but for me it's like this it's a character story rather than like a world story. Like it is completely focused on one guy, and it shows like the character path and like a story that you don't want to see and you don't normally see, but it needs to be told, and it does it in like a near like perfect way that is like believable, emotional, and then like you throw in like the world building, the side characters, like the atmosphere. I just think it does everything like so incredibly well. And it's crazy to me that it did it in 10 episodes. That's the part that blows my mind. It's like you are buckled in like after episode 1, which is something that you don't really ever see. So like it's like a special show to me, and it's like, yeah, this is my A+ tier number 3. Yeah.
I think what you said, it's a character story, it had to be a character story because the world's already there.
Yeah.
They had the whole world to build off of. If they hadn't had a good character story, it wouldn't have been a good show at all.
Yep, that's what Night City is. It's a city full of like people, like just characters, like going through stuff, you know.
Because you literally have this entire world, and it's based off a board game too. It's based off the game, and then they try to build a show around it. Like you have to do a character story. It has to be good characters.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I love about it too is that like similar to like Gotham and Batman, like Night City is a character on its own. Like that is like a huge part of the Cyberpunk world is like Night City. Like the characters talk about Night City like it's a person. Like it does things, you know, and it's like you just see every part of it from like the highest of the highs to the lowest of the lows. Like you see every part of Night City and like how it affects like the people that live there.
They had a great setting to base it off of because they already had like this whole setting built for them. Not built for them, like they built it around
wish
the board game or whatever, but like
yeah,
just wish what?
More games could just do that.
Cough, Starfield, cough.
What do you mean?
Kind of like League of Legends and
Facts.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, true.
They just did.
Let it be known.
That's
though,
why CD Projekt
I
Red
really
is
like
goated.
Cyberpunk. I don't hate it at all.
No, yeah.
Yes.
I don't.
And
that's-
I totally like.
no, yeah.
Like I
this
totally
is-
feel like you guys
I
have
need
like
to
a
rewatch
great
it.
point. Like
For sure.
No,
I don't disagree at all, but it's just.
Not saying that you're wrong
can't-
at all.
you can't
That's just
fake-
how
you can't fake how you
I.
feel about it.
Yeah, that's just how
I need to
perceived
rewatch it too.
Everyone sees it differently.
Cause like I really liked it. Like I rewatched it in a day, like or a day and a half. So I really like the show.
Like McKay said, it's an easy rewatch.
Yeah,
It is.
Just,
It's a great show, and like you said, Carter, it's crazy they pulled off all that in 10 episodes. That's like a crazy
It
feat.
blows my mind.
It's a
There's only
crazy
one
feat.
other show I can think of.
And
Like,
they're
I wish-
and they're like 20-minute episodes.
And like maybe that's me just like instead of like
All
appreciating
episodes
it
are
for what it is. Like I
20
almost wish like it was like a legit show that had like
Yeah,
seasons
like
and
ongoing
stuff because it's
seasons.
such a sick show. Like I wish they would have
I
done
don't think
more.
Oh, I was super
You know
sad
what
when
I
it
mean?
ended. Yeah, I
But
was like,
like-
dude, this sucks.
But like if you think
I
about
don't
it in a
think
different
they
way
will.
too, it's like you can appreciate it for what it is.
No,
in
yeah.
10 episodes.
Kind of epic though to
they
just
could.
come in, win Anime of the Year, no sequel.
It's, yeah,
And that it is what it
I
is.
pretty crazy.
honestly, because they like I wouldn't want to ruin the image and the story that it has. I wouldn't want to make a season 2. They could, but
I think I'm on. I think I'm S. No, this is my last A+. And this is a hot take, and this is my number 4. This is JJK. it's just hard because like I've never
It's
like
number 4.
yeah, dude. The like anticipation I've had for JJK episodes, and it's helped a lot watching it live. I think that's helped everybody. But like nothing makes like, not nothing, but like, it just gets me so amped every time. Like and it's just so good. I watched the whole first season on the plane, on the flight back from Hawaii, and it was so good.
Can't
I'm
believe
like, you
that's
guys
when
gotta
were
watch
watching
this.
it.
I was like kind of getting into it, and then the whole plane ride back, dude, I binged it. Season 2 was just like hit an inventory. I read the manga for that. It was so good. I was so pumped for it. And then yeah, this Shibuya arc, like the pacing has been kind of weird. I think if the pacing was perfect, it'd probably be 3, because my 4th and 3rd they're really close, but. It's a solid 4, and especially like with what it could do in the future.
Yeah,
like,
for
what could
sure.
happen like makes it so much more exciting.
Oh yeah, JJK,
Like it's just built for
one of the most potential.
It's just built for success. Like it's
Yeah.
just like I mean I feel like it's easy. It's easy to say because like it seems easy to do because they've just done it with JJK. They just made a really good show, but like it's just solid, and I don't think there's not going to be anything like it.
I'll say this: it's the only anime I've spent money on ever. Like I bought Gojo in the Fortnite store, and then I bought a really expensive sweatshirt. It's going to be coming in the mail. So
yeah, it's hype.
it's the only one I've ever spent money on.
It's like we are all very emotionally invested in it, and that's what makes it.
This Thursday
Well,
at midnight.
my number 4 is also JJK, so we're twins there. Talk about a good rewatch. I watched the show by myself, season 1. Watched it with my cousin. Watched it with my best friend. Watched it with Studio Gek, and then I just watched it with my other best friend. I've seen season 1 at least like 5 times, and every time, dude, I'm dialed. Like I love JJK. Like I never get bored. There's like a couple episodes in season 1 where like after the 10th watch, it's like whatever. But like. Dude, I'm always down to watch JJK. Like, a rewatch, I'm always down. Some of my favorite characters in anime are in the show. Like, their animations peak. I think, like, the only thing keeping out of S tier is just, like, they could have... Like, I feel like a simple fix is, like, just the time. Like, I genuinely feel like if you did Hidden Inventory, movie, season 1, and then Shibuya, like... that would flow way better than like kind of like Carter said, like going here, then here, then here.
Yeah.
So and like it almost makes the rewatch better because then you have that knowledge already of like characters. Because like I'm like watching it with my friend who's never seen anything. He's watching season 1 for the first time. It's like he knows nothing, and it would make season 1 way better if he like knew a little bit of like the characters that are already in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like just the ceiling is S tier for them, but like they just haven't quite tapped into it yet. But like, it's such a good.
There's
show
a reason
to watch.
it passed One Piece in manga sales. Like it is
Cooking right
yeah.
Well, currently.
Not
It's
all
like-
the time. Not all, I know. I'm saying currently it is.
But it did
selling
pass
more
Hunter
manga.
Hunter all time though. That's the crazy
That's
part.
crazy.
It all time.
So I mean, it's just
That's
like
not cheeseburger.
the show overall is just so good. So and like it's all over TikTok. Like the edits for that show
Oh,
are
yeah,
like
the
the
edits are
best.
sick.
Like the
Yeah,
edits are so
so
sick.
good.
So like JJK still stays relevant in my life just because of TikTok and like obviously it's been coming out. But I have it at number 4 and I feel like it's pretty comfortable at number 4. Number 3. So JJK is my A+, and then Hunter x Hunter at number 3 is my other A+. And Hunter x Hunter, I mean, I have my complaints about certain arcs, but like overall the show is like just kind of like Cannon said, it's just such a vibe. Like the music, the scenes, like you get fights, but you also like learn a lot in that show. Like you like it really like has you like learn about everything and everyone and what's going on. So you're always like you always feel pretty like in the show. You don't almost feel like you're like out of the show kind of. Like you kind of feel like you're pretty like familiar with the world, which is weird in a way because it's like a super unique world. But the thing that sends it over the edge, like on top of JJK for me, is just like it has a couple just peak scenes, just like JJK, in different ways, but there's still like 9 episodes, but like just
They mean more.
like just the meaning behind the emotion behind it, like the emotions are like peak in Hunter x Hunter. So it's A+. It's borderline S tier for me. The crazy part is like my 2 S tier shows are finished like all the way. Like Hunter x Hunter's not finished. We're like we don't even know like what more like
That's
it
crazy.
could bring. You know what I mean?
I always think that it's finished.
Yeah, me
in my
too.
mind.
So it's like
I know,
a part of me feels like something's
Manga doesn't
missing
keep
for it to
going,
be
I'm
like a
pissed.
GOAT show, but like literally a part of it is missing. So I don't know.
I'll be so pissed if that doesn't keep going.
Yeah, I'll be really sad because
I
I
really
mean
wanna
it's one of
keep
my favorite
watching.
shows ever, and like the rewatch has been super fun with you guys. So I'm excited to finish it, especially you. Finish it, but that's my number 3.
I think we had the same 4 through 1.
W.
But yeah, I have Hunter x Hunter at 3.
Me and Carter.
It's like it's probably the easiest rewatch. I thought the rewatch would kind of be tough because me and Brig just finished it.
I did too, man.
And like it's been like the easiest rewatch of my life. Probably like as easy as Arcane and Cyberpunk. But yeah, I think it has maybe the best voice acting scene I've ever seen that's coming up that we haven't seen yet. And like that episode just I don't know why that might be like one of my most that might be like one of the best scenes I've ever
Is that
seen.
the one you keep playing? You played.
Yeah, like I played it so many times. I don't know why.
It's like widely
it
known
like
as
made like the show.
Dude, that's crazy
It's
though.
known as like one of the GOAT scenes in all of anime.
anime.
Like it's pretty
Yeah.
it's insane.
It goes to say though that the rewatch is like good with Hunter x Hunter. It's like 130
Yeah, I would
episodes,
think
you know,
140 plus, and I haven't even finished it. I ended around 131
And I
because
like
I
the
was just
final
like,
arc. Final arc Jujutsu.
like I was like so shook. I've never been so like, because I watched it by myself just down here on the big TV, bro, and I was just losing my mind. Like I like volume full. Like I've never reacted like that by myself. It was crazy.
Dude, that's what's so funny
But-
is like me and McKay finished it around the same time. You watched it right before me.
Yeah,
We were watching it at the same time, like not together, but like
we were
separately.
just watching.
But it took me 2 or 3 months to like start episode
Yeah,
132. Like that episode like had me shook too. Like I physically could not watch the
it
show.
is so iconic.
That was like me with The Walking Dead at a point, bro. That's so
Yeah.
crazy.
So I don't know. It's just
It was like the opposite of Death Note. Like I wasn't like sick to my stomach with rage. It was like, dude.
See, and
I
I've
can't
got the
even-
show at like
I just
9th
felt
of
so
12.
weird.
I got the show at like 9th of 12, you know, and it's like a B plus for me. But I feel like I've heard, and
The
I
rumors.
love hearing the hype. By the way, like don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Like some people don't like when like we get like hype told to us, but I love
It's
hearing
still
it.
down to our opinion. Like,
Yeah, I love hearing it, and I just can't wait. I'm so excited.
Another thing too is like we like to be interactive with our like channel and like we read comments and like it's inevitable for episodes to get hyped. Whether it's
No,
from
yeah.
us on the couch or the comments, like every comment section's like can't wait for this.
And it's
or,
been like that since
It-
the
since
first
AOT.
episode of AOT.
Yeah, like they're always like,
It's like,
I
bro, I
can't
can't wait
till-
for episode 5, 7.
Yeah,
You know,
so
it just every single
It's
time.
just
Like,
how it
I
is,
mean,
and it's what makes anime
if
fun.
you want to get upset, like we're sorry, but like it's kind of inevitable. So like, we might as well just.
And I like it anyways. So
But it's like if I don't like if McKay doesn't hype it up, like Billy will hype it up on the comments. You know what I mean? And he'll get a lot of likes on it. So it's inevitable.
yeah.
So it's good that you like it.
So are you at 2, Carter? I'm at 2, yeah. My number
Cheers.
2 is Vinland Saga.
I guessed it right.
I
Ours are the
just
same.
I constantly flip Cyberpunk and Vinland Saga between 2 and 3 because it just honestly sometimes if I watch like whenever I rewatch Cyberpunk I'm like, oh, is this 2? But I think after thinking about it
The
for
game
a while,
helps. The game
yeah.
definitely helps.
After thinking about it for a while, and especially after season 2, like season 2 for me was like just so unbelievably good. And I love season 1 too. I thought season 1 was phenomenal, but season 2 to me just like hit different. And it's just one of those ones, man. Like you will, it just does everything that you could ask for, and it's got one of like, just like the best character arcs,
And it's not finished.
Either. The music, I listen to the music all the time. It's just one of those things. It just hits every single note for me, every single one.
No, it's so good, dude.
I just love it. I just love it, and I hope season 2 wins anime of the year this year. Well, and I like the thing with Vinland too. For me, like you said it already, is it's one of those shows that just like moves you. Like at least for me, like it moved me like 100%. So much. Like and it genuinely like I will listen to one of the main themes. And I will like think
it's in my top 10 for Spotify year.
Wow. And I'll think like, man, like I want to be like Tors. I want to be like Torfin, you know? Like it moved me. Like, it's just so emotional, and it's just like only something special can really do that. So
yeah. Okay. My number 2. Listen, it might be recency bias. No, honestly, it might be because like. My number 3 was Vinland, and I could easily see Vinland being number 2, but for right now, Avatar is my number 2. Avatar is just so, like, special because, like, it's literally a kid's show. Like, it's Nickelodeon. Like, and yet, like, some of the words from, like, Iroh and then, like, the character development of certain characters and just, like, their arc and, like, the whole just world building that they did, as well as, like, catering to the theme of just good versus evil, and it's like it's just a very well written like kids show, but that still can like move me emotionally, and like I don't know, it just goes to show that like especially after watching that edit that we found, like that one character's arc is just it just, and then if I did peak scenes, the Avatar would have 2 scenes that are just like literally top 5 for me. So
yeah.
I think definitely it's a kid's show, but like, it like, as those kids were growing up that first saw it, they were like becoming teenagers and stuff. So it almost relates to them perfectly.
And we've all been there.
I mean, not that they're going through those things, but they're going through other things maybe.
Yeah.
And it like relates to that in a way.
I don't know. So I could easily see Vinland overpassing, but like, Avatar's number 2 for me.
Okay. Sick. Well, this is my 3 and 2. I have Avatar as number 3. Everything Carter said and Cannon said, I 100% agree with. So I don't need to say anymore. And then I had Vinland for number 2.
Wow.
And nice. Vinland, oh my gosh, like that show was so incredible.
Well, Jack loves Vinland, Vikings. Jack loves Vikings.
And fantasy and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like Vinland was my AOT for like YouTube. Because like, yeah, I'd seen some of it, but I didn't finish it, and thank goodness I didn't. But like I did watch it. I did watch it like 2+ years ago.
Remember how Jack got 16 episodes in? He was like, "What the?"
Yeah, I don't remember why I watched it or why I stopped. Because I just thought it was cool, and I don't even remember what animes I was watching at that time. But that was like my AOT. It was just so good. Like everything, like watching it together was so sick.
That was fun.
And then the ending of season 2, just like
dude,
straight up inspired me. It was so good. And that show was just incredible, and I'm so excited to see where it goes. And like all the symbolism in it and the characters, it's just so freaking good.
Yeah,
like so dang good. And I could say it's very up there with my number 1, which I mean,
wow,
I think all of us kind of have similar.
Yeah, so I'm the first one to give my number
you're
1.
The first one to give your number 1. I'm pretty sure all of us have it number 1.
No,
not
them.
Have?
Yeah, not them.
Oh, what?
No.
My number 1, it's not a surprise. It's Attack on Titan. Like, it is literally...
What?
What number are you guys?
It is literally... They have 2 more. It's literally a perfect show. Attack on Titan is a perfect show. Like, the score, the main antagonist, protagonist, the main side characters, everything about that show is peak to me. Like, every season is over a 7.5 at least. Like, I don't know. And then just like whenever I think about the show, it's all of the memories that we have with our channel, and like just becoming like actually liking an anime was like so crazy that like I had hated on for so long. Like, I had my own character arc with Attack on Titan, and like that makes me like love it even more. And on top of it being a perfect show, so it's peak. Like I said this after we watched the finale, and I will stick to it. It's my favorite show of all time, over Breaking Bad. So,
which is pretty wild. It's pretty
Breaking Bad's been my favorite show for like 8
still
years.
Remember like in like season 3, Cannon was like, dude, he's like, do you think this show has the potential to be like number
Oh, I
one? And
remember
I was
that.
like, bro, it definitely does
It's
for
gotta
sure.
be.
And now it's literally there for me.
Yeah, I've saved the S tier for Attack on Titan just because, in my opinion, as great as Vinland and Cyberpunk is, to me, like Attack on Titan is literally like a once in a lifetime, like
Like Lord of the
worldwide,
Rings.
like feat. Like it is like one of the only things, and I hold the Lord of the Rings movies to the highest standard, and it is one of the only things that like I can like say in like the same sentence as Lord of the Rings, because it has by far like more like peak episodes, peak scenes. Like it has like a character that is literally won like protagonist
One of one.
and antagonist
Yeah.
of the year. Like I could sit here for like hours and like talk about how highly I think of Attack on Titan. It is like genuinely like just something that we will never see again, I don't think.
I feel like Vinland. I want to see where Vinland goes because I want it to be like up there.
I don't think-
I think
I mean,
that
Vinland-
Vinland
not the
is
same way.
missing.
Not in the same.
And I think Vinland is incredible, but I think that Attack on Titan literally has everything, every single thing. Which is funny that I say that because I started off like a little more than a year ago. I started off. It was my most like hated. I would clown on Attack on Titan so hard, and it ended up being like one of the greatest stories, if not like greatest story I've ever seen. Like it's every single part of it. And the thing I love the most about it is it does it all in like 90 episodes. Like it does not overstay its welcome at all. It has a purpose. It tells its story. It makes you cry. It makes you hyped. It does everything.
Is it 90
And
episodes?
It's just a little more, just like pretty much hovers around
Wow, I
90
thought it was only
episodes.
like 60 years.
So it doesn't overstay its welcome, and it
87
never.
are special.
I feel like it's
So
not
which is like 6 episodes.
Wow, that's crazy.
It starts off with like I think in my opinion the best pilot I've ever seen, the best first episode, and it literally never slows down, not once. It just builds, and like I don't know if I'll ever watch anything that will give me those feelings again. So I don't know. I can't say anything more about it really.
Yeah, my 2 is AOT. I don't really know what to say. It's like the perfect anime. I mean, I don't know how anyone could possibly have AOT out of their 3, like at all. It'd be like I don't know where you could come up with an argument and find like 3 better shows. But I mean, maybe you could. But yeah,
Animes
like,
or shows?
What?
Animes or shows?
Like anything.
I mean, I guess.
Like
anything.
like fiction in general. I think it's up there. It's like it's top fiction.
Yeah, it is.
So
I can think of 3.
I think my only gripe is
Lord of the Rings
what-
1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
okay. I think my only gripe in AOT is when Historia falls into that cart.
Oh my gosh.
That's like all I can. You know,
Lands in the hay.
yeah, she
perfectly.
lands in the hay. That was pretty crazy, but.
That was
That was
crazy.
pretty crazy.
But I mean,
come
yeah,
on.
it's a perfect show. It's one of the best watches of all time.
Yeah, mine number 2 is AOT. I feel like the boys have said enough.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, speak of your goat.
perfect show. Everyone knows who my goat is. I've been riding with Naruto since a year ago today.
For real?
I think I
Holy
started
crap.
it.
You started after the channel?
I started like after Christmas when I went to
wow.
Arizona for my mom's wedding thing.
That is
I was
crazy.
sitting. It was like 2 a.m, bro. No one's like. I'm just bored. No one's awake, and like I turned on Netflix and I saw Naruto and I said, I think it's time. And I started, and I started like end of December. Finished it in March. So I cooked that
yeah,
show,
you did cook.
and I was obsessed with it since the beginning.
I'm still watching.
Obviously, Shippuden is way better than the first one, but like has the best world building, has like one of the better like power schemes. Like obviously, there's shows that rival it, like that have great power schemes, but they're pretty similar to like Naruto. Hunter x Hunter and Naruto are like pretty similar. Like they're like Nen and Chakra, like they're pretty similar, but. Some of my favorite character ever is in Naruto. My favorite character ever is not in Attack on Titan. Like I think in my top 5, maybe 1 Attack on Titan character is in it, and like that's no. I'm not bashing AOT.
And your top 5 just fictional characters.
Yeah,
and
just
all
like,
4 in Naruto.
Is it
the other
Itachi?
4?
No. I have I'd have to think about it because like there's a lot.
Dude,
Star
doing
Wars.
top like 10 fictional
so hard.
characters
It's
is
like-
literally
it's-
so
I don't
hard.
even think it's
really know
possible.
Itachi's
I think it's
story,
harder
but
than
it's like
shows. I
Airbender.
think it's literally
But
like the
I
hardest
would
thing
say
ever.
like basically what I'm saying is Naruto. I think Naruto has the best villains out of any show I've ever watched. Like the villains from Naruto Shippuden are like goated. Like I was rooting for the bad guys a lot in Naruto because like they're so sick. They're so sick. They all have their own like unique stories and why they like are where they are. And obviously I'm not going to spoil anything, but the like just the matchups and the individuals in that show are just like so freaking awesome. So Naruto, just like I've never been so emotionally attached to like an anime before. Like Naruto, like I never cry. I never even get close to crying. I cried when I watched Naruto in a few scenes, which is just crazy. I literally never cried. Like I've cried 3 times this whole year, and 2 of them from Naruto. like it's crazy. So basically, what I'm saying is like Naruto's my number 1, but like if I had to be completely objective and like take my emotions out, like I would say Attack on Titan is the greatest anime ever made. Like when you just look at like the writing and the story and the pacing and everything.
That's fair.
But like Naruto, I can name a bunch of flaws it has, but just like the way that show made me feel and the way I feel about certain characters, like it's just my goat. I love the show so much, and like there's negatives to it, and I feel like AOT like there's really like there's very petty like negatives I could like say that are just super like nitpicky. Like you can find a negative in anything. You know what I mean? But like
anything, yeah.
objectively, like those two are the only ones in my S tier. So AOT and Naruto are like cream of the crop for me. Nothing's ever reached that level. So
Nice.
I'm gonna stop before I cry.
Yeah, I got Naruto at 1 as well. I think it just has the best fighting, like as far as like the choreography and the fighting. I think that's like a big role that it plays. It's like they're just so fun to watch. It has the best characters too. It definitely does. It has like the most tragic character, I feel like, and it's like really close with Eren, but it just like hits different because I think it's a longer show, so you get more of it. You get more backstory, and I just think that makes up for it. But then like the character themes, I think are the best. Like the music it's really close. And this is comparing 1 and 2 AOT.
Yeah.
But I think like the character themes are so good. They're just I have them on my phone. I listen to them all the time. And then I don't think I've invested as heavily into a show like after I watched it as Naruto. Like I bought those cards.
All those cards.
And like the paintings and everything. Like I just love it. Like it's just like Brig said. It's just like you could say AOT it's like a better anime, and it's like they're so close because AOT is just so perfect, but like Naruto just means more. So I have it at 1. It's just I don't think it'll ever be dethroned. I hope it does in a weird way.
No, yeah, because then that means
Yeah, it
that
would suck
something
to like
unbelievable was
peak
Yeah.
fiction in your 20s. You know,
Yeah,
you
but
have so much life ahead of you.
Maybe Boruto will
The
do that
rewatch
for
is
you.
gonna go crazy.
The rewatch is gonna go
It's
literally
gonna be
like
insane.
if
I'm really
Hunter x Hunter
excited.
went that crazy, I can't imagine.
I'm really excited to watch Naruto.
I am nervous, but anyways,
Jack.
Oh, AOT number 1. I don't.
Oh, I thought Jack already went.
No, well, yeah, because I was doing 2. It was kind
Yeah.
What can I say about AOT?
I'm not
I
gonna
think
lie.
it
I'll
was-
say I'm surprised it's your number
Just
1.
talk
I
about
will.
the story, man.
I think
Your goat.
I had. You're surprised. I feel like Vinland and it are very close for me because Vinland was a really good experience, whereas I'd already seen AOT, which is it was kind of weird because like I'd already seen it, but I wasn't in the mindset of like doing it for the channel and like more like thinking about it a lot and like cutting it apart. And I also had like things with like Eren where like I really hated him, which is fine because I guess lots of people probably did because
I
it
think
like
they want
stopped.
me to.
I don't know. It was just interesting to have watched it already, but then watch it again. I wish I had been able to just watch it the first time with all you
Oh,
guys, because
man.
that would have been
What
I
I
think
would
that would have
give.
been better.
The five.
Then again,
the
a
five
rewatch
of
was
us,
sick. I don't know,
just raw watch of AOT
Yeah.
would have been sick.
because I feel like I got that better with Vinland. Like
There will be Solo Leveling might be the first like big show we all watch.
yeah,
None
I've
of
heard
us.
the manga.
None of us literally have any
Jack's
idea.
actually read like the chapter.
I've heard from some of the manga.
Jack's read the manga.
Read.
Yeah, 2024 is gonna go crazy. I'm so excited for 2024.
Yeah.
That was a fun little series.
That was a
man.
great
It's-
series. Well, yeah, that was awesome. That was fun.
Whew.
Next year, who knows how things will shake up.
Yeah,
Let's
dude, the
see.
list
I
might
hope
change.
my list changes.
Except it
the
sucks because a
better.
lot of things in this list are gonna come out in 2025.
Well,
Like Vinland,
do your
JJK.
worst. Do your worst.
We'll be
anime.
circling back.
Do
Oh,
do
yeah,
your
which is
worst and do your
fine,
best.